Well, there is a looming budget deficit in the Multnomah County government.
County released their 5-year general fund forecast this week, and the expected deficit for the next fiscal year is less than ideal. Celine Stevens joins us from the newsroom with the numbers. And Celine, how did we get here?
Well, Tim and Stephanie, Multnomah County is expecting to see a $21.2 million deficit for fiscal year 2026, up from the expected $16 million deficit that was forecasted earlier this year. And with a number that high, the county's economist tells me this means certain programs and services offered are going to need to be cut back.
We definitely have some hard times ahead of us.
A $21.2 million deficit is what county economist Jeff Renfro presented in the general fund forecast during this week's county board meeting. The main reason, payroll.
In the simplest terms, really, the county is paying people to do the work to implement our programs. So in our general fund, personnel costs are over 60% of our expenditures.
He says some of these programs include public safety, with the money being used to operate jails, other law enforcement components, the DA's office, and other health and human services. Renfro says for the county to continue funding regular services, they would need around $30 million in new revenue. Property taxes in 2026 are only expected to bring in about $8 million.
Property owners are unable to get people to rent space in their buildings. Over time, they have difficulty making debt payments. If they owe debt on their building, those buildings end up getting sold and sold for values that are lower than they were pre-pandemic, and that works its way under the property tax roll and leads to lower property tax revenue for us.
Data from Portland Metro Chamber shows Portland's Central City office vacancy has soared since 2020.
And now that, with COVID and remote virtual working, that I just don't see that that's ever going to come back to the way it was before.
During the meeting, Commissioner Julia Brim Edwards said the city and county need to take strong steps to address homelessness and other major issues in town to prevent more businesses from leaving.
There's a direct correlation between the economic health and the conditions in the county and actually the resources that we have.
Because a lot of our personnel cost increases are dictated by inflationary factors that are outside of our control. We really don't have a lot of levers that we can pull other than evaluating the level of programming we deliver to the community.
It's important to remember there's still a long budget process ahead, with the final budget being approved in June. Renfro says community members will also have the ability to testify in front of the board and provide feedback at a later date. Back to you.
Thank you, Celine, very much.